Hello, everybody out there, and welcome back to another episode of the Dark Avenger comic book review series. I'm Chris, the Dark Avenger. You guys know Mike.
Hey, guys.
And we have a lot of books this week.
Yep.
I feel like I say that every single week, and every single week it kind of is true. We do have a lot of
All in
books.
total, 29.
That's a lot.
One away from 30, you know, just saying.
Well, technically one book is more of an honorable mention, and that's the first physical book right there.
So, 28-ish?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll say 28.
So we got people in the comments. We are recording this live because we love doing this live every Monday. We got Tevye in the comments, and what is going on? Jason Smith. For those of you that don't know, and I think a few people have mentioned this to me, if you'd like to know what books we're covering, if you're watching live and would like to know what books we're covering and in what order, every week we have in the description a list of all the books we're going to be, covering and in what order we're covering them in. So you can go to our description right now on this live show, and it'll tell you every single book, the book we're starting with and the book we're ending with. And for this week, it's no surprise what book we're ending with, but at the same time, I don't put them in any hierarchy. I save that we save it specifically for Frontline Live. So all of our books are kind of randomly put together. I like to do the independent first, then we go into Marvel, and then we go into DC. I don't know why I feel the need to talk about this. We're at episode 393. So forwards and backwards, it's the same number. And yes, you guessed it. It's a small world after all. I don't know anything but that. Where the hell do you come up with these numbers?
Google.
I don't understand. But anyway, we were going to go live at 9 o'clock, but then I slowly realized Raw was on TV. So I decided to wait until Raw went off the air so people wouldn't have to debate whether to watch us or Raw.
I thought you were giving up on wrestling.
I was, but our viewers aren't. Got to take into consideration other people.
No, I'm saying.
See, you don't think about the other people. You think about yourself.
This is your show. I was waiting for you.
Right, and here we are.
Okay, but that's
I had a buyer for my comics. I said $1,000. They came back with $300 for 6 long boxes. I told them get out of my house. That $300 for 6 long boxes, unless it was a bunch of bulk, I would have said the same thing.
My goodness.
Mr. Smith, if you ever would like to donate any comics to a reviewer / friend in need, I am always available. But I will say this as a friend. $300 for 6 long boxes? Absolutely not. I would say $100 per long box would be better. Yeah, you lose $400, but at least you made it, unless there's big books in each long box. Then I definitely say $150 per long box at least. At least. My opinion. I don't know. I'd never sell any of my books. Once it's in my collection, it's in it forever, unless I choose to rip it, burn it, flush it.
I never saw
make
you
paper
rip
airplanes. I've never done that. No, I just can't. Even if I hate a book, I just can't do it. I just give it to Michael and he puts it in his box.
I don't know why.
Because we're wonderful people. We don't believe in ruining. Anyway,
crowds up my box.
No, I have ripped a few books.
No, you haven't. I've never seen you rip a book ever. No.
There was one book I wanted to.
But you didn't. You're like saying, I'm going to, you know what? You just threw it on the floor. I know you've thrown stuff on the floor or fling things across the room.
I have thrown things on the floor. Yes, that is true.
So, yeah, it's best to do that because at least, anyway, shouldn't we say what day
the book
came
the books in this review were released on
May 17, 2017.
My birthday month.
It's almost here, and we're gonna start digitals with.
Wow, Michael's just right down to business. Fine.
What? I didn't know what you were. I thought you were done.
I'm good.
Are you done? Or do you have anything else you want to say?
There's some first appearances like Carnage, Warming. Yeah, no, man, no way, man. $200, $200 per long box. Your grand, I would definitely say $1,000 for the 6 long boxes. Hell no. Especially because I have the first appearance of Carnage. I have the first appearance of Cletus Cassidy as well. No, man. No, that definitely $1,000 for sure then. And Tevye, tomorrow night.
Oh, for the opinion? I didn't
even now let's go into the books because now we're getting a little off topic.
All right, so yours first.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue number 15. This issue surrounds Zordon. It's Zordon. What happened to him when Draken destroyed the command center? And basically, Zordon is trapped in between the two worlds, and he's watching what happened in the dark universe where Tommy chose to fight alongside Rita instead of joining the Power Rangers. So he basically was forced to watch the darkness happen to this universe. But he reaches out to Saba. Now, he does talk with the Zordon from that world, and the Zordon from that world said, never give up on your Rangers, always believe in them, even if they don't, you know, even if it's the darkest time, always believe in them, because the Zordon was watching, and Tommy, the evil Tommy, basically just killed Zordon, because Zordon said, no, they're still good in you. And I have a feeling that this issue definitely plays into now. We're going to be seeing a good, like, Draken is going to semi-turn good, possibly, or I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with Draken, but Zordon is now watching on, and he's working with Saba, so we now get the backstory that Zordon and Saba have known since before Tommy and Billy appeared in that world. So now we're going to see Zordon reach out to Tommy and Billy, possibly. We didn't get any further with the Billy thing, and that drives me nuts. I hate when they do that. I really hate when a story's interrupted by a backstory. I'd rather have the full story or put the backstory when there's not such a heavy cliffhanger like that. We got Jesse and David Riley in the comments. What's up, Jesse? What's up, David? That sounds like Luke talking to Vader. And what's up, David? I don't know what Tommy's going to do. I don't know. I got to see the rest of this series. Now, as most of you know, I love Star Trek The Next Generation. And not only when I heard this series was coming out, but when I heard J.K. Woodward was doing the artwork in this book. J.K. Woodward is basically another artist that draws like Alex Ross. Star Trek The Next Generation, Mirror Broken, issue number 1. It is the mirror world to the main Star Trek universe. So basically, instead of exploration and peaceful, what's the word I'm looking for? And peaceful exploration for science, the Empire is out to get, it's basically a dark version of the Star Trek universe. And this was before Jean-Luc Picard got the Klingons, and I forgot what other race attacked, and now Earth was kind of pushed to its borders. But there's talk that there's this new spacecraft that's going to allow the Empire to once again, you know, reach out into the stars and become dominant again, because the human race was forced back into its sector. We can't leave our solar system, basically, because everybody else was stronger than the Empire. And they're creating the ship, and lo and behold, it's the Enterprise. And Jean-Luc Picard finds out about this through Data, because they end up they attack this ship and bring the salvage to a salvage yard to get, you know, the parts and to build up their tech. And he finds out that the ship is real. And I like how they're working with Data and making him kind of darker also. And what happens is we find out that Geordi's working on the ship. He quit Jean-Luc Picard's ship to go work with these guys. And now he's going to help Jean-Luc Picard and the team get this Enterprise and basically be, you know, push for the Empire to be strong again. And they're basically going to heist this ship. Now, the next cover has Riker on the cover. So it's going to be, I think this is kind of the formation of the Enterprise crew in the mirror universe. And I like it. I like that we get a little bit of what happened, what was going on with Jean-Luc and his people before the Enterprise, and now we're going to see how they steal the Enterprise, what's going to happen. And like I said, J.K. Woodward's artwork. I hope I'm saying his last name right. Am I saying his last name right? Is it even on here? Yes, it's all the way up here. I think it's Woodward. I hope I'm saying his name right. Man, the pictures in this book, it's like watching the TV series. He has beautiful, awesome artwork.
Okay. Oh, all right. So we're going to get into my books now, starting with...
You need a yang to your yin. You can't kill your other half. I agree. You're talking about what Tevye said about good Tommy killing evil Tommy. Not going to happen, Tevye. Power Rangers don't kill. Go.
Okay. The Spirit, the Corpse Makers, issue number 3. This book, I would have to say, was my least liked book of the week. Like, it was like really not as interesting really as the other two issues were. Like, it's basically the Spirit trying to find out the case about Vincent, which is Ebony's cousin. So he tries to find some clues about where he is. He winds up going to the crematorium or something in some cemetery-like thing. And when he goes underground, he finds out that there's these group members that might have been behind it. And then as as they were going after him, behind the doors were dead zombies behind the door.
Well, zombies are dead.
Yeah, but I'm just like saying, like, that's what he saw behind the doors, and we don't know what's going to happen now after that, because now he's trapped between a rock and a hard place and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And there was also this other woman that was riding on a motorcycle. She was like doing a case. She reminded me of Lois Lane, you know, how she does all these reports and stuff and trying not to get caught or anything, but she was kind of, I don't know. I was just saying that's my least favorite for this week out of all the other books that I've read. Going to Zenoscope, Spear Hunters, issue number 7 of 12. This one was actually a really good book, and the cover says it all. It talks about the story.
Dead Zombie sounds like a rock band. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And the guy...
MT's in the house. What's up, MT? Wonder why the trades for DC Rebirth are coming out slowly. Probably because the story arcs are coming out slowly, man. What's going on? Great to have you on here.
Yeah, and the guy you saw on the cover is Jerome Ferguson. Now, Jerome Ferguson is part of the team of the Spirit Hunters. And I like what they talked about, a story about how he was a police force like from a very, very long time ago, and he didn't believe in paranormal stuff until there was a case that he went for. And his partner was dead after this whole poltergeist
Was
thing.
he a zombie? Was
No.
he a dead zombie?
Like, everything was just like, almost everybody kept dying and everything, and it was just like really, really hard for him. So it was kind of like a PTSD he was going through, you know, post-traumatic stress disorder.
I wonder if zombies go through PTSD.
Well, if they're dead, I don't know if their mind's working anymore, but what I'm saying...
Could you imagine a zombie in an airport and he's afraid of heights?
So there was an investigation that he goes to revisit to the woman and then tries to help this girl, I forgot what her name was, I think Holly or something, like trying to get her to the other side. And they used Ellen, who could talk to spirits, to do that. And Ellen's really good with talking to spirits. Almost died twice.
Ellen's the spirit talker.
Yeah, almost died twice in this series.
Twice?
Almost twice.
Have no clue who you're talking about.
Well, maybe you should read the book and then you'll know. Ninjak issue number 27. This one was actually pretty interesting. Ninjak actually meets
PTZD, post-traumatic zombie death.
Well, that's a good one. Yeah, so a Ninjak, this is where he meets up with someone else who is a ninja. And actually, can't remember the name for the life of me, but it was from his past from like years and years ago. And she becomes a ninja to try to take down Ninjak. And she actually tries to and takes him back to the doctor's lair where he uses like heads to collect them for like his valuable stuff or whatever. So he manages to get out of that. But now there's going to be a lot of things that Ninjak's going to be going through in order to like get back on his feet and everything. But it was a pretty good issue for that. Red Sonja issue number 5. So Red Sonja and her partner were transported to another dimension. And where were they transported to? No other than Coney Island, Brooklyn. Brighton Beach, Brooklyn, but it's close to Coney Island, basically. No, that was it for the visuals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forgot to turn it off. So, so she's trying to look for this demon, and there was this guy that they met. Why? He was like part of the
zombie brigade.
No, he was helping them with the whole thing about trying to call out the demon and Golan Goth, however you say his name. So they both called both of them out to go and fight against them. And it takes place at the good old Wonder Wheel. Dino's Wonder Wheel. That's almost 100 years old. I think it's like 97. I wrote it when it was 95 years old. And it's a really great Ferris wheel, you know. You should try the Cyclone roller coaster. I'm getting off topic, but beside the point. So they're trying to call out the demon and Cullen Goth. Don't give me that face. I know you gave me that face with that Mickey Mouse thing, but don't roll your eyes at me or do anything else. And don't be Undertaker either. So, and then the demon comes and attacks him at the Wonder Wheel, which tends to be continued because the guy was either on a different side just to try to get Red Sonja because she's still most wanted.
Or he's a zombie.
Man, when you run zombies, just... And yeah, that's the whole book. Now, here, you can review your zombified book here, Mr.
Now, I saw my good friend Jesse. Now, for those of you that don't know and watching this, Jesse did and that's JLS comics in the comments. I almost said JLS comments. He did a live haul video today. Myself and Jay were lucky. We jumped in right at the beginning. But he showed this book. This is not to review because this book is, 91, 2001, 2011. Yeah, it's old. It's 20 somewhat years old. Spawn issue number 1, director's cut. Oh wait, it says it right here. I'm so stupid. 25 years. Okay.
Very good.
So 25 years of Spawn, and this was a fun book just to have.
What?
Wait, I'm just reading the comments.
Oh.
I don't care if it's 200 years old. I'm not riding it. I don't care if it's 2 days old. But this is really awesome. If you're a Spawn fan, I have the first 100. I have almost the first 100. I think I'm missing 97 and 98. But I have almost the first 100 Spawn comics. Love it to death. I really should go get those last couple of Spawn issues. I should find out which couple of Spawns I'm missing and grab those. But I love having the director's cut. It's really awesome. You get the scripting. You get a little back, behind the scenes work on this book. Why call it a director's cut, Tevye asks.
No, why is it called the director's cut?
Because it shows you the book and how it was scripted. Sketch pages. Little snippets from Todd McFarlane. I love it. This is nice, especially for me. I'm learning how to...
MTX if McFarlane's still writing and drawing.
Yes, no. He's writing, not drawing. And I like this because right now I'm learning comic scripting. For those of you that don't know, Celestial Falcon, I'm learning a new type of scripting. And I like looking at, so you get the picture and then you see what McFarlane wrote. Very important and very interesting. So I'm learning through reading other people and how they've done scripting. There's a lot of methods. When did what come out?
When did that comic
Did Greg Capello draw Spawn at one point? Yes, he certainly did. When did this came out this week? Spawn came out in 92. This is from 92 Spawn number 1. Yeah, basically a DVD. It's the behind the scenes for comics, Tevye. I mean, we've only had several other director cuts. This was awesome. I loved it. I liked the behind the scenes. When did the director's cut come out? Came out it came out this week, the 17th.
All right,
not this Wednesday, last Wednesday. So if you'd like to pick it up, they have it still at Midtown. They even have a variant, and JLS Comics, Jesse got it. I know. I'm sorry, Jason. I didn't know what you meant, man. I wanted to cover all my bases. But there is a variant where the cover is Ultimate Spider-Man. The only reason I didn't get the Ultimate Spider-Man cover is because that's a $5 book. To get 2, it's $10. If I got a deal, I probably would have, but I didn't get a deal, so I didn't get it. I'm still looking for that Secret Empire short box. Yeah, man, Jason, definitely. There's, like I said, there's 2 covers. Get whichever one your shop has.
All right, this one review for Comic Frontline. That's Street Fighter versus Darkstalkers issue number 1.
I love Darkstalkers just because the characters.
I really
they're actually making a Darkstalkers, I think, series after this.
Yeah, would you mind grabbing the cards?
No, I already showed them on the haul. If you'd like to see the cards, check out the Dark Avenger haul, which didn't have the right microphone.
What do you mean? What didn't have the mic?
It recorded with the camera microphone.
It said Yeti on it.
No, it recorded with the camera microphone.
It said Yeti on it, but anyway, it's a big fold-out page.
Yes, I got the fold-out one.
Yeah, I know. I was just showing them in case they didn't see the Frontline review. And just to give a little short of what it is, since I reviewed it already, it's Chung-Li who meets up with Zagat and Ken, who are in a universe that they don't know about. We get Morgan, who is in this comic book. I love the artwork in this book. The artwork is really, I really enjoyed it. And then she talks
I wonder
about,
why, Michael.
Why?
Giggity, giggity.
Not because of the. And then as she's getting ready about making everyone fear that she's like the new queen and everything, they're just trying to find out where they are. We get Felicia.
I love Felicia.
Yeah, Felicia with John Talbin.
I love Felicia. She is my favorite Darkstalker.
No, she was your favorite because you played her in Marvel vs. Capcom.
No, but she's my favorite Darkstalker character.
Yeah, and then,
I would have dated Felicia when I was younger. I was, man. Why couldn't I go to a New York Comic Con one year where somebody cosplayed her? I would have married her on the spot. First ever New York Comic Con meet, marry, and have little Felicia and Dark Avenger kid. That would have been. I don't know why, but I was a weird kid. What can I say?
Yeah. So moving on, Doma and Lord Gil are trying to find ways about how to get rid of the
Jesse says, "Oh, now I know why Mike likes the book."
Yeah. And there's also this cover here. I don't know what this character's name is. Do you know? Well, basically,
Strictly Comics is in the house. What's going on, Strictly Comics?
Yeah, look at that. Alter Ego. They're copying me of the Alter Ego Mike Talica. Do you believe that? They're copying me. Yeah. But anyway, long story short, really awesome book. I would definitely recommend you guys pick this up from Udon. And you get 2 cards that are in this book. So if you want to check out what they were, you could go on Comic Frontline and check the review there, because I was shocked. I really did not.
I was here first.
I really did not know that they.
Now, boys, Edwin and Jesse, you both can be on the same comment thing. We love talking to both of you. Now, stop it.
What?
Just following Jesse down the dark path, the Dark Avenger path. There's only one good dark path, and that's the Dark Avenger path.
Just go. What is wrong?
Listen here, Mike Talica.
Yeah, Dark Avenger.
One sounds cooler than the other.
Yeah, and I know which one sounds cooler than the other.
Thank you. Okay,
my
so
question.
Mine does. Invincible 130. I want to make sure I'm right. Yeah, 6. Man, this was a bloodbath. This was a legit, like, hey, you want to talk suicide mission? All right, let's talk suicide, because, oh God, why did his name leave me for the moment? Oh, I hate when people's names, I have it at the tip of my tongue, and I do not remember for the life of me.
What's the last issue of Invincible?
The last issue of Invincible? Well, we're at 4 of 12. So 12 minus 4. There you go. We have that many issues to go, and then this series is over. But he ends up sending all of his kids at Invincible all at once. I love Invincible. I wish Kirkman wasn't. I know, man, right, Edwin? I hate that he's can't. I would have. No, I shouldn't say that. I don't want him to cancel any of his books. Jason seems excited. You sent your books out today. Oh, okay. Never mind. So Invincible and everybody, they're fine. It's like a suicide. I don't want to show it. It's a bloody mess, because literally they're throwing their lives away one at a time. Mark and his dad are just cleaning up shop completely. And it's sad, because you're just watching all of these kids. All of his kids are basically killing themselves. So they end up running, and what they want is they want Tharg. I remembered his name when I saw his face again. They wanted Tharg to follow them. This was a whole setup to make Tharg follow them to the most strongest planet, or this planet with the strongest defense, and that's Earth. To be continued. Damn. So we're gonna see. We're gonna be seeing a lot of hey, what's going on? Hello, how you doing? Again. Don't you think that since they've announced an Invincible movie, they'd keep... Right? They announced that there's going to be a movie. You'd think that they'd want to keep the comic book going to give the movies have more.
Unless we get a new writer.
We won't get a new writer. Robert Kirkman is the only writer for Invincible.
Okay.
Unless they go into a volume 2.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But that's not a new writer. That's a new volume.
Well, it could be a new volume. I mean, Robert Kirkman,
That would be 8 issues. Thank you, David. Yes, 8 issues left. Tharg is definitely worse than Zod.
Wow, really?
The quarter dollar
Zod?
I do still have to get that compendium for the first 50 issues, and then maybe I'll get the other compendium for the others, because I started collecting at 100, so I have about 36 in my collection right now.
Oh, Sweet Exorcist.
I was even digging Invincible Universe. I remember that. And we got Sweet Exorcist. What's up, man? Just popping in to say hi, man. It's good to see you on here. What happened to Invincible? That is a good question, Edwin. What did happen to Invincible Universe? I remember reading it, and then it just disappeared.
Invincible Universe? I don't remember that.
Years ago. It was after the Voltramite War.
Maybe that's why I don't recall. What did it? I don't recall. There's so many books we review.
It just disappeared. Rose issue number 2. Let's keep going. Let's keep moving on. Invincible was an awesome book, but we got other books. We got a lot of other books. Rose issue number 2. So Rose,
Meredith Finch, man.
Oh, this book. Oh, if you haven't tried Rose yet, man, get your hands on issue number 1 and get your hands on issue number 2. Oh my God. I loved this book. So Rose wants revenge. She knows that the soldiers are there, and the group that she's in wants to run away. So she wants to face these soldiers head on to get revenge for her town, but Will shows up to stop her. And what happens is there's this dying, it looks like a deer, and she somehow is able to heal it. And Will thinks that Rose is working for the queen. And he's like, oh, yeah, of course. Nobody ever survives. How did you survive? You're working for the queen. And she's using you to get to us and destroy us. And she's like, I have no clue what you're talking about. And they get chased by one of the gods. And she ends up taking the god down or scaring the god away. And they end up getting back with the group. And the girl explains everything that's going on with the powers and whatnot to the older woman. And Thorn now comes out of hiding because I forget what he calls Thorn's guardian is now awake, which is Rose, Thorn. I think this is awesome. I love this book. I really do. I want to see a more background on the Queen. But man, guys, if you like Meredith Finch's run on Wonder Woman, if you like Meredith Finch's Little Mermaid, this is 100% only Meredith Finch. This is no characters that were previously created. This is all her. Oh my God, I love this book. That looks like a cat I used to have. This?
No, the one that was in the book. There was a cat in the book.
That's not a cat. That is a Bengal tiger, I believe, to my knowledge. But it does look like a kitty. An angry kitty, but a kitty. Any cat fans in the... I love all animals. I choose dogs over cats, but I would have...
I like both.
But we had 3 animals at one time. We had a cat and 2 dogs, okay? Yeah. We had Homeward Bound. Anybody who knows... I know everybody is going to be like, what the heck is Homeward Bound? For my older viewers watching right now, anyone who knows Homeward Bound, we had Homeward Bound for a while there. We had Ariel, who would have been Shadow. That was our bigger dog. We had Jasmine. That was the cat.
Sassy.
Which was Sassy. And then we had Cookie. You all know Cookie. I miss my baby so much. My little dog, and that was definitely Chance. She was definitely a Chance kind of personality. But yeah. And maybe it is a panther. I don't know, man. It could be. Yeah, it looks like Bagheera. Maybe it is a panther. Either way, it is a Guardian, and I am looking forward to this series. And man, Homeward Bound, oh, I just found out it was on Netflix. I actually bookmarked it on Netflix. I loved Homeward Bound. It was such a good movie. And then they made a second one. It was and then they disappeared.
What do you mean The second one was good. I liked both of them.
Well, good news, Mike. The next time we go to Target, you could buy the 2-pack because there's 2 in 1.
You said it was on Netflix.
Only 1 movie.
All right, so just the one then.
Well, definitely got to check out Rose. Definitely, man, Sweet Exorcist, you will love the series. You will love it. And that's all of our independent books. We're going into the big 2 now. And we're starting with Injustice.
We have 1 digital each.
Really?
Yeah, look, this one and then this one. That's
Yeah,
it.
everything else we got physically this week. A
Look at
sequel.
that.
They kept getting lost. They got Jesse. They got lost. You know the first one, obviously. The second one, they get lost in Manhattan. They were going on a plane trip and they fell out of the cart, and then they had to escape.
The cargo thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they had to escape Manhattan to go back to their home, which was over the bridge. Which leads us to believe they lived in Jersey or Pennsylvania.
I think Pennsylvania, because it was beautiful there.
Mm-hmm. Must have been Pennsylvania.
All right.
Injustice 2, issue number 2. We find out that we were right. That wasn't Batman Bruce Wayne, but somebody else pretending to be Batman. And he takes the Suicide Squad, and he's going to do what Batman can. He actually fights. Bruce Batman shows up and gets his butt kicked. And I have my predictions about who this Batman is, and I have not played the video game yet. So anyone who if it was released or if this whole thing was told on Injustice 2, the video game, don't tell me. But whoever this Batman is, I'm predicting it's Damian. It's a prediction. I know that Brainiac's in the game. I doubt this is Brainiac as Batman.
That was Home Alone 2.
That's in New York. Home Alone 2 was also in New York.
Yeah, but the title lost in New York was Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Homeward Bound was about 2 dogs and a cat. Yes. You see what I started?
You started it.
I know. So going into now Injustice 2. So Batman gets his butt kicked. This Batman takes the Suicide Squad and kills a bunch of other useless people that were in the candidacy for Suicide Squad. And now they take out the power in the facility where Superman is. That's Damian. Oh, it is Damian? I didn't want to know. Thanks, Jason. I did not want to know that. Well, unless it's a prediction. Cats rule and dogs drool. Yes!
That's what Sassy said.
Sassy. Oh, why are we still talking about this awesome movie? Because it's an awesome movie. Injustice 2. It was fun. It was great. I enjoyed it. Now we're going to see Superman breaking out of jail.
All right, so if you're done with your cat dogisms,
it's okay, Jason. I was 99% sure it was Damian anyway, so I'm not too upset, especially the way he was talking. No, it's fine. Don't worry. I didn't want to know, but it's fine because 90% I was sure it was, especially because he was like, "You're old now. I'm the new Batman." I had a feeling it was Damian.
I actually played Injustice, the new game, over at my friend's house yesterday. It was a really good game, but we're gonna wait for the Ultimate Collection, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Deadpool versus the Punisher, issue number 3.
Mike's waiting for the trade for that. I actually think it's coming out in July. I still have to make our July order, so I've got to actually keep an eye out for that.
All right.
I have to keep an eye out for a few trades. That and Weapon X. Because right now, Generation X is not looking like I want to trade it, and I just spoiled one of them. We'll get to Generation X. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, so in Deadpool versus Punisher, we get them teaming up with each other, and I like how they were in their battle van, like going against the people. But Taskmaster actually makes an appearance in this comic book, and he's actually behind one of the things where he sees the boy and his mom, and he like knows the connection he has, like saying keep the boy alive, but the mother just either kill her or just get rid of her and stuff like that. So when Taskmaster actually went, and Punisher said chimichangas.
Yeah.
He's like saying, say it. He's like saying, no, I'm not going to say it. Say what? Then he goes, chimichangas. He's like, oh, you said it. I like that whole Deadpool thing. But anyway, so just skipping over the whole thing of what happened in the book, Taskmaster does catch up to the boy and winds up killing the mother. Now, Deadpool had a instinct that she died and the boy's Hudson went missing. So since he was going to collect the bounty of the Punisher, because he said that he would have been there if not for the Punisher and everything and doing the whole thingamajigger. And then, I don't know, something in the end where Deadpool gets shot by someone in the eye and then Punisher kills him, but then says round 3 goes to Deadpool. How's round 3 go to Deadpool? He didn't shoot Punisher or anything. So I don't know how that was a round thing. I'll make you bet they're gonna do Deadpool, and then the next one they're gonna do Deadpool probably. But it was a pretty average issue, I would say. It's yeah, I would just say if you want to pick it up, definitely check that out.
Why does that quote sound familiar? I say take off and nuke him from orbit. That's the only way to be sure.
What, was a quote from somebody?
Yes, and
Nuke him?
No. Jesse, where'd that reference come from? It's too early in Aliens, duh, yeah, that's right. Aliens the movie, yeah. Nuke LV-426, yeah, that's right.
And speaking of the Punisher, we're getting into a solo of the Punisher without Deadpool, and I review this on Comic Frontline. The Punisher issue number 12. The fight.
That's right. Ripley said it, and then Hicks said it right behind her.
Why are we doing movie references?
Guys, where were you on Friday? Where were you on Friday when I want to talk about stuff like this? Please, Edwin, Jesse, show up on Friday and we can talk all about this.
I almost losing my voice weekend with the Mario Maker thing. Punisher versus Olaf, not the one from Frozen. So there's like a brutal fight of Thank you. So Olaf was under the DMC drug where he's fighting off against the Punisher. And that's what really half of the book was. Meanwhile, we have Agent Ortiz who makes it to the scene to save the Punisher from almost getting killed by Olaf and just saying, you know, revenge isn't the answer. They deserve justice and all that stuff. I wanted to show a page that isn't. Do you think no? Because it's violent. I want to show a page that doesn't have all the blood and gore.
That was a good page. No. The page you wanted to show was good. Go back again. There you go.
That one. All right. Well, it's this one right here. I really like the artwork that's in this comic book. And then the Punisher goes off. And we have this thing here where it looks like Face is alive, but in a very terrible condition.
My name's Jim. I remember that from Mike's review. Yeah, I have my cell phone and I was playing the button app.
And it looks like that there's going to be a new story arc because, you know, it's the end. But there's going to be another issue next month. So this was a really epic book. This one, I have to say, was just really awesome. Definitely pick up this comic book for that. And
Dark Dragon 1189. What's up, Dark Dragon 1189? Welcome to Dark Avenger, the comic book review series.
Live.
Yes, we're doing these live. Unless you're watching this after Monday night or on my personal channel, because these are getting re-uploaded to Dark Avenger C86. You'll be watching this in the middle to end of June. Generation X, I got the Jubilee variant because I had a feeling I was not going to be into this series, and the artwork.
Uh-oh.
The artwork. Like it. This is the weakest X book right now with the artwork. The story is interesting. I will not be picking this up physically. Only reason I got it was for this sick. Look at this Jubilee cover. This is going on Comic Book Corner. When I finish this review, because this is a sick Jubilee. Thank you for the sub, Dark Dragon. Really appreciate that. Every subscription helps, and hopefully you're around on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Mondays, and Fridays. Those are when we have our live shows, and you could definitely, if you read comics and like to talk comics, you're definitely welcome in the comments. Talk to us live. But I don't know, guys. The story was generic. The ending was very generic. Now we have the purist, or the... Now I need to open this because I need to know what the names of them are. Because if I don't know the names...
Did you tape it?
I did tape it, but it's okay. Purifiers. But I couldn't get into the artwork, guys. I really couldn't. It just didn't talk to me in many ways. That's Jubilee.
Ugh.
Yeah, I didn't like the artwork. So I will be continuing Generation X digitally because the story interested me enough that I'm like, okay, I'll come back for issue 2 to see what happens with the kids. I love Quit and Choir, and Brew is back. So yeah, I want to see what happens with them. Jubilee, they had a chance to retcon the vampire thing, and they did not. Yes, you can, Dark Dragon, go for it. But man, they had a chance to retcon this. And do you know why Logan can't heal anymore? I'll tell you 1 second. I'll give you that answer in 1 second. But man, the one time they could have retconned that the whole Dracula dumb bull at BS, and they didn't. Now, Logan was attacked in the X-Men series. Gotta go. Thank you. Thanks for coming in, Edwin. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night. If not, then man, hopefully we'll see you soon. Definitely pop by on Friday. We could definitely talk some more, man. Thank you for showing up tonight as well. Now, Wolverine was attacked by nanites, and it turned off his mutant ability, which, as you know, is healing. And what happened was he was turned normal. And if you see the book right behind me over here, this book, The Death of Wolverine. Thank you again, Edwin, for the thumbs up. Wolverine had a series called, The Death of Wolverine. And he died because he was encased in adamantium and gone. A lot of people are predicting one day that the nanites will die off. His healing factor will come back and he'll break free from the adamantium. Right now we have Old Man Logan. Laura, a.k.a. X-23, has taken over the mantle. She's all new Wolverine. And there's James Howlett from the Ultimate Universe who will be showing up in X-Men Blue soon. So we have a lot of Wolverines right now. And then they claim that Generations might bring back the original Wolverine as well. I don't know if he's going to stick around because there's already so many Wolverines. Why bring the original back as well unless they get rid of Old Man Logan? Which at some point they're going to have to do. It's just got to happen at some point, right? I mean, Spidey 2099, you got to send him back to 2099 at some point, right? So, I mean, at some point, Old Man Logan's got to go back to the future, right? Or his dark future. Not our dark future, his dark future, right? Oh. X-Men Gold. Not blue, but gold. Issue number 4. I really like this issue. So, Gambit is working for this woman. We see it open up with him pulling off a robbery. He ends up stealing this little vial, and we get little glimpses into, oh man, the Serpent Society. I love this so much. It was hilarious. And I love how Kitty's like, oh man, we're fighting D-listers right now. And you got Storm and Old Man Logan doing the research on all these kids that died or have been shot, and they're all mutants, and it looks like it's they're specifically hidden. Oh yeah, I forgot about Dawkins. Dawkins still out there as well. But anyway, we find out that Remy Gambit was working for this woman who happens to be the granddaughter of the man who created Sentinels, and he just wanted to know what was in the vial and what she wanted it for, and then basically wanted to steal it back. We find out that the person that Kitty Pryde took in is not even a mutant. He's an alien, and we don't know why he was working with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Amara is still suffering from the effects of what happened with, oh God. Oh, I forgot his name. Mesmero. But anyway, we find Remy reaches out to the X-Men for help because he's getting attacked. And we get an awesome final page. It looks like the nanites have created a Sentinel. And that Sentinel's gunning for Gambit. I hope Gambit sticks in the X-Men books. I hope he ends up joining the X-Men and working with them. I hope this is part of him rejoining them. The only thing, a lot of people are complaining about X-Men right now. I truly think, is that a first print? Yes. And what's up, Fizz L? I'm guessing Fizzle Films. Great to have you in the comments. Yes, all of the comics here are first prints. These are all from this past week, or the week of the 17th, last Wednesday. So all these books are first printings. But I truly believe with X-Men, a lot of people want them to reboot. See, this is the thing. People will complain if Marvel completely reboots their universe. And people will complain if they continue on this path and try to generically fix things. Have a great night, Jesse. Thank you for stopping in, man. I'll watch the rest when I'm on my way to work. Thank you, man. Thank you for stopping by, Jesse. Loved your live show. Hopefully you do more live shows, man. Slacker. Oh, we got Eagle in the comments. What's up, Eagle? Eagle, You're supposed to be asleep, man. Are we keeping you up? I hope we're not keeping you up. I hope you literally woke up or something. You definitely should not be up yet. You have 2 hours of sleep still, mister. 2.5 hours of sleep. You need to sleep, especially because you drive the most. But anyway, thank you for being on here, Jesse. Eagle, good to have you on here. And Fizzle, everything is first printings, like I said. AC, oh, man, no. Not now. In the winter, fine, but not now. Shoot. That sucks, Eagle. I'm sorry, man. I hope it cools down over there then. But anyway, now let's go back to the comics again. But that's what I think with X-Men is really, you can't reboot because then people will be upset. But at the same time, we could try to get as close as we can to the original as possible. And I think that that's what they're trying really hard to do with Gold. And with Blue, I guess they're trying to give the young X-Men a place in the Marvel Universe. But if they ever brought the Ultimate Universe back, I would totally love to see those X-Men move over to the Ultimate Universe.
Okay.
And I've said my piece.
So this book I also reviewed on Comic Frontline, Luke Cage, issue number 1. I thought of giving this book a shot since I've reviewed Power Man Iron Fist.
And I took over Iron Fist.
I thought, why not read Luke Cage? And it's good because I want to know a little bit about his character. And you do a little bit in this comic book about.
Mike actually told me, Chris, keep getting it physically. So that means Mike liked it.
I really liked it. Like the artwork in this book.
Oh, the artwork
really
in that book's a lot
amazing.
better than the Luke Cage and the Iron Fist, the Power Man and Iron Fist book.
I thought it looked the same. Kind of.
Not at all.
Really?
The same
Almost.
as Iron Fist? No.
I thought a little bit. I don't know. But anyway, so we learned about Luke Cage, how he's bulletproof, and he's just indestructible, like really, really strong. We hear about Dr. Noah Burstein, who passed away, and that's the guy who made Luke Cage into the way he is today.
Indestructible, yeah.
Indestructible and all that. We meet up with Dr. Lenore Mornay, who's in this book. And what she does...
Who is the artist?
Oh, the art is, I said on Comic Frontline, actually. Nelson Blake II.
Good artist.
So what she does is that she takes him to Dr. Cyril Morgan, and he does like a long story, which I mentioned on Frontline, about his son that was disabled, and because of Luke Cage's blood that the doctor reversed, he actually became a regular person. Or like, not a regular person, like he wasn't in the wheelchair anymore, basically. So he owes his life basically to him. And then we get more of Luke Cage action when he takes out these guys who were after the girl, Dr. Monet, I think her name was. And the person who actually helps him out in the end is somebody that's his brother. Because he says in the end, it's always good to see you, little brother. Mitchell Tanner. And Mitchell Tanner, which they did talk about, was the first patient of Dr. Noah Bernstein. A psychopath, too. So, Luke Cage has a brother. I did not know that. So that's something.
All right, MT, thank you for stopping by as well. We're
really
gonna
good book.
I think we're gonna start running. We're gonna start going through
all right.
No, most of these are mine, so we're gonna start going through these a bit because I'm noticing it is getting late, and I have a wisdom tooth that's coming in, man, and it is so freaking hard to talk at times.
My lemons.
Pardon me, it made my jaw feel better.
You're welcome.
Anyone who knows wisdom teeth know that when they come in, it's like baby's teething. It just drives your jaw up a wall. And talking because it came out on the inside instead of on this side, which would have been ideal if it came out on this side of the jaw instead of the inner side. When the tongue hits it, oh, it's like, come on.
Oh,
I'm begging time to pass so this thing will just come through and it'll be over.
Believe me, a broken tooth, a little chipped a little bit is a lot worse.
Oh, I agree, but I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying from my perspective, you know.
I understand. I'm just saying it is annoying, though. Anyone can tell you it's annoying.
Oh, my girlfriend, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
She could tell me.
Secret Empire issue number 2. I reviewed this on my channel. I really don't want to go too in-depth on here. Definitely check out my review. But, man, I got to tell you guys, I really, really like it.
Yeah, you seem to really be enjoying
Andrea Sorrentino's artwork is spectacular.
Are you kidding me? I loved his artwork when he did
her artwork.
Yeah, her artwork when she did, what was that book? Tomb Raider. great. I loved.
Yeah, it didn't.
artwork.
I didn't like her artwork with Old Man Logan, but man, oh man, did it shine here. So we get to see New York. We see Luke Cage and Iron Fist and everybody else who's trapped in Manhattan. You know how they're dealing with things. Dagger is keeping the city light, and you see Kingpin working, you know, deals in order to keep people safe while all this is going on. You go back to the Avengers who are feeling defeated. You got Black Widow who wants to assassinate Captain America. Tony or AI Tony decides, you know what, we're gonna listen to the. I'm gonna look at this SD card that the kid brought, and it's a hard drive with what's his name on it? Rick Jones on it, and he explains in this awesome freaking page. Look at this art. This is where Andrea Sorrentino works her magic good. Steve Rogers Hydra story, man. There's a trade. Is it shown here? It's not shown here. There is a trade. There's a trade paperback out right now that it shows you all the lead up to Secret Empire. It basically is the setup for Secret Empire, Fizzle. Check it out. Look up a trade paperback that shows you all the little things. It shows you pieces in Captain America and all around the Marvel Universe where Cap was starting to work his way into the Hail Hydra. There is a trade out right now that leads into this. Get issue 0, get the free comic book day book, and then jump in with issue 1 and 2, and you should be fine. The trade is, I think, $15. I want to get it because they throw in all of the setup for Secret Empire without having to buy every single book in the Marvel Universe. It's Pleasantville, Captain America, Civil War 2, lots of stuff. So anyway, Rick tells them what happened to Cap, that it was Kubik, and that the scientist was supposed to rip Kubik apart in order to make the cosmic cube again so they could change the entire world. Oh, no problem, man. And basically Hydra eyes the Earth. So and there's a way, if they get to the pieces before Captain America, they could fix Steve. Black Widow doesn't care. She thinks that if Steve knew what was going on, he'd want to be killed. So this is where the Avengers kind of separate, and it kind of teases the revolutionaries with Black Widow and her team trying to assassinate Cap. You have these Avengers trying to save Cap. You know, now they're going to go on the hunt for the missing pieces of the Cosmic Cube. And then you have Cap, who makes a big speech. We find out that Cap wasn't the one that ordered Rick Jones's death nor the bombing on Vegas. He just turned a blind eye and let what's her name do it? Alyssa do it. So he didn't even order it. So we know Steve is still somewhere in there. And then we find out in the end, the ending, man. Oh, and also Steve sends Baron Zemo out to find the missing pieces as well. So it's now Avengers versus Zemo to get the pieces. So now either Avengers get the pieces, save Cap, or Zemo gets the pieces and the world is screwed. But like I said, we get to see the building, the setup of the revolutionaries. And we also find a really cool... guys, if you didn't read Secret Empire issue 2, mute me for a second. But we find out that Captain America might not be the only Steve Rogers on Earth right now, because there's another person who shows up, saves this girl from being mugged by... Ironically, she was being mugged by the Serpent Squad. So I don't know how the Serpent Squad's in 2 places at once. But she gets saved by Steve Rogers. And as he says, I'm just trying to get home. Either I think Kubik separated Steve Rogers, the real Steve Rogers, into that body, and the one that Red Skull wanted into that body, or that's the ultimate Captain America. Or we don't even know. I don't even know. It could be anything. But man, that last page, damn it, Nick Spencer, I did not want to get into any more minis until or events until after the 18-month break. But damn it, now I'm going to be stuck with Secret Empire all the way through to the end. Loved the ending to this issue, kept me interested, and it's building up. Now, Marvel's known to do good events and then sink. I'm praying. There's still time. We don't know yet. I don't know, Jason. That's how I feel. What? I don't know. I don't know. They'll explain it in the issues to come. But this is only issue 2 of 9. So there's a lot of... There 9 issues, take away 2. There's 7 more books to go. Even if they're released twice a month. 1, 2, 3, 4 months still to go. Maybe 3, because technically this came out in May. 3 will come out in May. So 3 more months to go. Can Marvel keep this hype up for 3 months? 7 more books. I don't wish whammies on anybody. I really want to see Marvel go out. If this is going to be their last event, if their promise is true, and this is their last event for 18 months, that's a year and a half. I want this to be their best event. I want this to go out on top so they can say, we had a great event, and now let's build our universe back up. Again, Jason, I don't know. Maybe, or there are rumors floating everywhere about who this second Cap is. Nobody knows, though. Nobody knows who it is yet. I guess you got to stick around to find out. My vote is either Ultimate Cap or Kubik separated the real Steve Rogers from his body, and that's the essence of the real Steve Rogers fighting its way to get back. Or maybe Hydra Steve will go completely evil. This Steve will show up and save the day. There's so many possibilities. We'll know by the end of the summer. Power Rangers, Justice League issue 4. The Justice League find a way to get back to the Power Rangers universe using Tommy's Dragon Dagger as an anchor. They show back up at Angel Grove, but Brainiac has already encased Angel Grove and taken it away. No, I don't think it's a clone, David. That's one thing I'm sure it's not. You know what? I'm not going to say that because you never know with Marvel. So Angel Grove gets taken away. The Rangers and the Justice League team up to attack Brainiac's ship together. And the Rangers get their coins back thanks to Superman. They start to morph, but then Cyborg gets hacked by Brainiac. And there's a dark ending here. Now, I hear that the Power Ranger book is getting delayed because I was looking at August solicits. And not August, July solicits, and it looks like the next issue is coming in July. I think there's a month delay. Maybe Nomad. I don't know, Jason. I don't know. Throw predictions as much as you want. I don't know. But this was a nice book. I just wanted to throw, I don't have much to say about this book. If you love Rangers, if you love Justice League, this is definitely for you. Check it out. Oh, look, speaking of Justice League, here's Justice League 21. I'm sorry, but I'm done with Brian.
Wow.
Brian, oh, give me his last name a minute. Brian Hitch, I'm sorry. Done.
So see?
I think that's the last.
Witness, you threw it across the room.
I think that's the last physical book I'm getting for Justice League. It's the last part to the 2-part story with Justice League. I'm done. I can't get into Justice League anymore. Maybe I was spoiled by Jeff Johns. This is how I felt for Green Lantern for a little while until Rob Vendetti wore on me and really started pushing with Green Lantern. But with Justice League, Das Vidania, Justice League. Batman issue 23 was the weirdest issue I've read of Batman yet. Swamp Thing makes it... No, this is definitely the weakest of the series so far. Swamp Thing makes a guest appearance. This guy ends up killing Swamp Thing's biological... or Alec Holland's biological father. And Swamp Thing goes to Batman for help. So they do all this detective work. There's some funny quips in here. There's a nice little kind of like poem that Swamp Thing keeps saying over and over again. He uses Kite Man, and he goes to other people who they're trying to track down. By the way, it's coming. Looney Tunes crossing over with DC is coming. Are you getting the issues? I sure as hell am. I think I'm getting them all. Yep, I'm getting them all. Every single one we're getting this time. But anyway, Batman and Swamp Thing find the guy. He's at the museum. And what happens is Swamp Thing ends up killing the dude. And Batman's like, we don't do things that way. And then the whole point of Batman teaming up with Alec Holland was, he's like, dead can be alive again. And I don't understand why, but Batman believed that his mother and father are falling back into life. And it's like, dude, dead is dead. Don't listen to Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing doesn't know shit. He's part of the Green. There's nothing that he can do. He could heal people, but he can't bring people back from the dead. He meant that when they die, they become part of the earth. That's how they come back to life. They're not going to rise from the dead. Bruce, where was the logic in this book? I'm sorry. Not saying that it's my worst pick of the week, but it's damn near close to the bottom. No offense, but this was the weirdest, and it even says it right there, the strangest team-up in history. This is the strangest book of the week, was Batman Swamp Thing. The artwork... Also, I didn't really dig the artwork in that book as well. So, A lot of negatives for Batman issue 23. Trinity issue 9. Now, this book, it's hard to say. You know, this is going to be an up to you guys. But Batman, something attacks the Justice League. I reviewed this on Frontline, so I won't be going really heavily in depth with it. But my review is like 3 minutes long, so I'll go a little bit in depth. So Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are in the cave from the very first story arc. And Superman's talking about, was it a dream that we were in or was it real? Because I left markings. My younger self left markings on this cave. So maybe it was real. And Batman's like, no, it wasn't. And then they whisk away because there's a distress call from Cyborg. There's also somebody hiding in the cave that says, I am real. So obviously it goes back to the first arc, and we're going to revisit the first arc in a future arc again. But Justice League Tower was attacked, and it's up to Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman to figure out who attacked Vic, because Cyborg is in chronic arrest right now. And then it turns out aliens somehow infested the Justice League Tower, and like the Starros, they kind of attach to the person's head and take control of their body. So Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman are fighting Simon and Jessica, who are possessed by these things. Superman and Wonder Woman get knocked off into space. Flash saves Batman and lets Batman know what was going on Justice League Tower, and that not only was the alien ship kind of, did it bond with the Justice League Tower and start taking over, you know, and took over Simon and Jessica, but there's also a bigger dude there, and he looks like he wants to destroy everything as well. To be continued.
Let me see. What was it? Oh.
It was an okay book. Again, it depends on where you fall with the 3 superheroes in this book, and if you like random stories. For me, this was interesting. For you, maybe not so much. Oh, thank God, because I really need to stop talking for a little while just to rest my own voice. Batwoman issue number 3. So now we've got Batwoman trying to figure out what the hell's going on and what the Many Hands is doing in Pariah. And she sneaks in and she wants to buy the bar that her old friend, I forgot what her name was, Sophia once owned. She wants to buy it. Jeremy Renfro in the comments, everybody. What's up, Jeremy? And it turns out that they know who she is. I mean, they're not stupid. And I love how Alfred's daughter is like, she realizes what's going on, and then Batwoman gets attacked again by that other girl, and a big fight breaks out, and she takes her out, and she figures out what's going on the island. I don't want to spoil too much because it's very involved, but let's just say there's a lot of nukes on the island that those twins who are trying to build up the island are hiding all around the island. And this woman wants the island to be taken down. She wants it burnt down. So Batwoman reaches out to all of her friends that work for Sophia, and now they're going to take this woman out and stop the Many Hands from destroying Pariah. Interesting story, but again, I feel like I forgot the main point, which the main point was she's there to try to find out who's stealing the monster serum. So that whole idea, that whole main part of the story is now gone, and we're focusing on Pariah more, and that's bad when you have a reason for why she's at Pariah, but now Pariah has officially taken over the story. I get Trinity just because of Superman. Same thing, David. Same. Well, Superman and Batman, because right now we don't have a World's Finest book. Guys, let me tell you, Batman and Superman, best thing coming out of Rebirth. Yes.
All right. This I review for Comic Frontline. So Green Arrow number 23. This is the third part to The Rise of Star City. And this was actually a really awesome book. Like
the more I talk, actually, the better my tooth, the tooth coming in feels. Maybe I should talk more, and it's making the jaw feel better.
Oh, really?
You guys are awesome. Thank you for helping me out here.
So we get the news that Green Arrow finds out that
I am gonna get rid of this coffee. So while here's
some artwork. I love the artwork in this comic book. And Green Arrow thinks that Henry Piff died because of the whole burn down of the headquarters happened. Meanwhile, we're at Black Canary. He talks to Victoria about, Green Arrow and working with the Ninth Circle for all his career and some bibliological book. Try to say that 5 times fast. Meanwhile, we have Amika who meets up with Cheshire of the Four Horsemen, and then she's not alone because Arsenal is actually there to help her out as well. And Arsenal and Cheshire were once together, which I still find weird even looking into this book. And we also find out that Henry V isn't dead. He's alive with Broderick, who's trying to like talk all good to him, like saying, your talents and everything should be rewarded and yada, yada, yada. So basically is that. Hello, Bella. So, yeah, and then we get this nice fight scene between Green Arrow and Eddie Fires. Look at the artwork. My gosh, it's like really awesome. And then as the fight kept going, we have a explosion that happened at some tower, and it's just basically it doesn't look good for
you just see her tail wag.
All
you
that.
did a good girl.
Yeah, this was a really great book. Definitely you should check this out. I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
And Alan's in the comments. Just wait till tomorrow if you want Batgirl news. Laugh.
Yeah. But this was really great. You guys should definitely...
All right, Jason, thank you for stopping by, man. I hope you're still here to hear me say goodbye at least. Green Lanterns 23. This is the book that solidifies my definite getting this book physically from this point on. So I actually do have to continue Midtown one more month. Damn it. But at the same time, it's a good thing because I go back into the back issues and grab us some old comics as well. So it works out. It does work out. And thanks to Jesse, who's not here anymore. There's 2 old Hulk books I found thanks to Jesse's video today that I threw into that I'm going to throw into our Midtown order for this week.
Yeah.
So, Green Lanterns, right? So, Kyle is working with Simon to make him think better, to make him make better, to get him the advance, I guess, because he already went through the training and he's set. Rami, who's taken over by the first Lantern, Volthoom, finds out that there are 7?
Yeah, right there.
I want to make sure it's 7. Yeah, it's 7 Green Lantern rings. The original 7 Green Lantern rings were made out of his lantern that could get him to go back to his world. So now he has to find the first 7 Green Lantern rings in order to go back home, to make his lantern again so he can go back home. And they actually show one of the first recipients of the Green Lantern rings ever. I'm sure we'll be seeing her in future issues as well. The reason I'm liking Green Lanterns now is because obviously, and I've looked at the solicits to see if it's true, because whenever I'm ready to drop a book, I do check solicits first. They're staying in space for a while, so they're not going to be the homeward bound team, so to speak, anymore. And I like that Guy Gardner is pushing Jessica to the point where, things look bad. So Simon's training isn't going so well. And let's just put it this way. Jessica's had enough of Guy Gardner too. It's going to be very interesting to see where the next issue. I have a feeling that Guy Gardner is going to be like, I was pushing you for the whole time, waiting for you to punch me in the face, and it took you this long to finally do it. Finally, good job, you passed. Because he was pushing Jessica hard throughout this entire book. I would have punched Guy Gardner in the face if he was my training, my drill instructor or my trainer. So I'll be honest, man, he had that coming. All right, Jason, have a good night, man. I'm glad you were here so I could say good night at least.
All right, we're still continuing on the Lazarus Contract Part 2 and Teen Titans issue number 8. The 2 Wally Wests meet each other from New 52 and pre-New 52 from those universes. And what it talks about is we got a little bit about who's that? The Barry Allen?
That's Wally West.
Oh, that's Wally West? Oh, well.
New 52 Wally West call.
The New 52 Wally West, they talk about his story, about how he met with Deathstroke and how everything was a little bit different then. And then we get Teen Titans who are trying to, find out where Kid Flash went. And here's some artwork, by the way. Which is really nice.
Puppy face.
And
Puppy face or we riot.
Yeah, and also, like a tracker on him, but he's like saying that who knows if Kid Flash is already dead. And then we get to the location unknown where Deathstroke's using actually Kid Flash to do him a favor, like to reverse time to bring everyone that he loved back to him, like his son, Grant, his son, and everyone else.
I want you to look at the camera.
Yeah, so with that, we have Damian who meets up with Dick Grayson of Nightwing, and I love this page right here. And as things were getting like a little bit out of hand, or we're going to get out of hand, you know, it's just them saying like, you know, that time is the key to find out where they are. And then we get the whole thing of where the Titans are trying to find out more about Kid Flash, and they find Kid Flash of their team, but oh boy, I don't know if I should show this last page because this one was really something. Where Deathstroke, now it's going to be continued in Deathstroke, where he's got the whole and all the time in the world, and who did it? 252 Wally West.
He didn't know.
Well, he didn't know, but he's like saying, I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. And yeah, well, you didn't have a choice, but still. This continues on in Deathstroke, so we'll see what happens then. And those are all my books for this week. So now all these last.
Speaking of Wally West, though, a one-issue, awesome, complete polar opposite of Batman. Nightwing, issue 21. Wally and Dick just have a night out. You know, Wally shows up, and Dick ends up saving this girl who's getting mugged, and then she ends up trying to shoot the guy that mugged her, and Wally shows up just in time to stop the bullet from killing the guy. And they have like this dude's night out then. And it's fun. It's really nice. And I like the little pun where there's these girls that are like, ooh, who are you guys? Like, I'm Dick and I'm Wally. And they're like, that's like the 1950s. So that kind of dates both. I believe that's when the Teen Titans was around then. And they end up, all of a sudden, they end up going to the movies, and they walk out of the movies, and then all of a sudden, a moment later, everybody's missing something. Dick's missing his watch. Wally's missing his wallet. And he's like, you know what? It felt like time skipped. And then what happened was we get introduced to a new character who we'll probably never see again. It's a one and done. And his name is Time Bomb. And what happens is he has this technology that can manipulate time around him. And as Dick and Wally try to take him down, he freezes time around them, and even though Wally moves at the speed of light, he's able to freeze time fast enough to get around even Wally. And Wally ends up in danger, and then Dick, you know, kind of returning the favor because Wally saved him from the bullet, ends up saving Wally from a train because Time Bomb ends up freezing Wally right in front of a train. Dick jumps in to save him. I do like the artwork, by the way, in this book. I really do enjoy it. And they end up getting, Time Bomb ends up getting taken in. They end up beating Time Bomb, and then we get a teaser for the next story arc. And this is the biggest and best part. Tiger Shark is coming. For those of you that know Tiger Shark from pre-New 52, you know why I'm excited. And I am excited. Super Sons I reviewed on Frontline. The final fate of Kid Amazo. John and Damian, this is the final part to the first story arc. I really enjoyed it a lot. Hold this a second and answer comments. I'm just going to move Bella back because she wants to go outside.
All right, so
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So we have Girls Night Out, and this week we have Boys Night Out. And what next? Monsters Night Out? You never know. LOL, OMG, skit idea. Bella meets Spider-Man. Maybe.
It could happen. All right. Now, Super Sons I've already reviewed. So Damian in the last issue put out a APB to somebody. We didn't know who, but we found out who it was in this issue, and it was Lex Luthor. So he called Lex Luthor to kind of fight Kid Amazo while him and John end up saving the family because they find the original family, not the clones, and end up saving them, taking them away. And then Damian uses the sister to kind of rip the Amazo suit off of her brother and basically end up stopping him. Lex Luthor makes her an offer. John and Damian end up running because they didn't want to get in trouble, and then they ended up getting in trouble anyway because Lois and Alfred both realized they were missing because Damian wasn't in his room when Alfred went to him for practice, and Lois needed John in the morning to help with the animals, and he wasn't there. What a way to start that team up. If not for Flash, this probably would have been my top book of the week. Superman issue number 23. We find out who's behind everything. Now, there's a moment in this book that I feel like it's probably going to be retcon. So anyway, Lois ends up in trouble with Old Man Cobb, but it turns out that Superman's right underground. Go figure. He ends up saving Lois. He finds out that the whole town was doing this to protect John and help make him grow or whatever. They're doing this to protect him, yada, yada. So Superman, there's these alien things that start popping up in the town and start attacking the town. Cobb gets knocked out. Superman ends up going to fight the aliens, and this is your first hint in this book. But the super elite who are working with the person that have John are there to stop these aliens, and they don't believe in not killing like Superman. Superman wants to just subdue them. They want to kill these things and make sure that they don't come back anymore. And what happens is Lois ends up losing her leg. What? And no, and then no. There's a lot of no going on in this scene right here. So Superman ends up taking Lois to the hospital. John watches the whole thing, gets upset, and Superman's like, I'll find our baby, but first I'm taking you to the hospital. And we find out who the person is that's playing the fiddles.
Oh.
I love to hate this dude, Manchester Black. And the only reason why I'm going to mention that now is because we know in future solicits, I actually looked at solicits. This was the part that was spoiled. I didn't want to know who it was until after reading this book. It was spoiled on social media by one of the people I was following, who I'm not following anymore because I got really pissed off because I saved this book for last because I didn't want to know who was pulling the strings. I was trying to put things together on my own before reading this to make my prediction, and I didn't even have a chance to. I don't know. I don't know if Manchester Black will off himself in this universe too. So, the last issue, for those of you that are following the agenda, or for those of you that know what came out this week, The Flash, issue number 22. I love doing this. It's fun. So Reverse Flash and Batman are trying to stop Reverse Flash before he gets to his rendezvous point. He makes it there, and there's nothing he can do. God or Dr. Manhattan ends up destroying him. So time continues. Basically, what was going to happen, and there was nothing Barry or Batman could do. But the treadmill ends up getting shredded. So what happens is there's this little voice. There's this voice in the cosmic realm saying, just say my name. And he says, say, oh God, what was it? Say my name, Jay. And he's like, Jay? And that's when Jay Garrick shows up. And this is pre-New 52 Jay Garrick. This isn't the New 52 Jay Garrick from freaking Earth 2. This is the Jay Garrick. He ends up saving Flash and Batman, and then what happens is he starts getting pulled back into the Speed Force, and Barry tries to do to Jay what he did with Wally. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. Now, Dr. Manhattan's plan all along was for Batman to see his father. And now, they're still working on the case, by the way. They decide they're going to still work on the case. But now, Dr. Manhattan did that on purpose to make Batman doubt being Batman. And guess what? That's exactly what happens at the end of this issue. The bat signal goes out, and Alfred's like, sir, you know, are you ready? Should I prepare the Batmobile? Are you going to answer that? And Batman doesn't answer it at first. And then we get the first hint. It's really not much of a spoiler anymore. But yeah, it looks like, and then we get an epilogue. Oh, I'm scared. I'm really scared. When I see the Superman S, I'm like, no, don't do anything crazy. And the Doomsday Clock, my friends, November 2017, the Doomsday Clock miniseries begins, and that is going to start leading into the big event that's going to happen next year. It's coming. The end of Rebirth is coming, and it's been played around with long enough. I mean, solicits for Superman have Oz in it. I'm eager, man. I'm eager. Flash and Super Best this week. And Johnny Thunder most likely freed Jay. Most likely. I hope that they get the JSA back before Rebirth's over. Jay Boots got the wings now. Yeah, I noticed that. I did. That was in the art I showed. But anyway, that's it for this review, guys. Number one, thank all of you who've been watching with us, who've been with us live. Thank you, everybody. I mentioned all your names on purpose. Thank you all for being with us live. If you're watching this post-live, now it's your turn. Let us know what you thought about all the books we talked about in this review. Do you agree with our reviews? Do you disagree with them? Likes, dislikes, recommendations. We'd love to hear from you guys. So let me know. Let us know what you thought about the books that came out on May 17, 2017. If you're watching this on my channel, it's probably June. Always love to hear you guys comment. I would like to point out, though, because a few people were wondering why we were doing our review so late. This is, if you're watching this on my channel, Dark Avenger C86, this is a re-upload. The original video was a live show we recorded today. Well, it's 12 a.m. now, but we started it on May 22nd. It is now May 23rd, 2017. You're probably watching this in June sometime. I don't know what date yet, but you're watching it probably the third week of June-ish, maybe the second week of June-ish, the end of the second week of June-ish. And we've already recorded this. We are not doing our reviews super late. These reviews are just going up several weeks after the original post. They're all up to episode 400 going up on my channel later. And then at 400, we're going to have a announcement video on Frontline about the future of the Dark Avenger comic book review series and what changes and things we're going to be doing. We always do this every 100th review episode. Thank you all so much for being here with us. If you like this video and you're new, we are Comic Frontline, your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. If you're new, hopefully you'll click that sub button. This way we're in your sub box so you don't miss out on a single video. We have videos coming out each and every day, several live shows every single week. Click the notification bell. This way when we go live, you'll know. You'll be the first to know because notification bells let you know about that stuff. And if you're watching this on my channel, I have videos that I'm trying to put out a few each and every week. Got a podcast on my channel. Got a lot of stuff going on my channel right now. Going back to the original format, Dark Avenger C86. Yes, comic books and such. Thank you all so much for being here with us live. Thank you all for watching post-live. We will see you guys, if you're watching this live or if you're watching this on Monday, we'll see you guys tomorrow on Frontline Live. If you're watching this post-live and it's a while from now, or if you're watching on my channel, keep an eye out. There's stuff coming up soon. Take care, everybody. Keep reading, keep collecting. And we'll see you guys really soon in the next video.
Everybody.